We are live from the Spero clinic, and today Miranda is graduating. When she first arrived at the clinic, she was in a wheelchair with no feeling from the waist down and unable to move her legs. And after a lot of hard work, the feeling started to come back, which was really exciting, but it brought a lot of horrific pain with it. And despite that, you still showed up every day with a fighter's mentality. And so I'm just so proud of you, Miranda. You and your mom have been such a staple at this clinic, and I don't know how we're going to get along without you, but I know you'll check in with us. I just know that you're going to touch so many people's lives with your story, and I think you're about to tell us a little bit of it, but I feel honored that I got to play a small part in it, and congratulations. I'll give you the floor.
The thing about Spero is from the outside looking in, you can't understand it, but from the inside looking out, you can't even explain it. Romans 8:18, the pain you are feeling cannot compare to the joy that is coming. This verse has carried me through my darkest moments in my life. I have held on to God's promise even in the days I might have doubted it. My name is Miranda Rocca, and I stand here before you all today and proudly proclaim I am a completely different person than I was when I arrived to Spero on February 5th, 2024. I arrived in a wheelchair, unable to feel or move anything below my waist. And now, on June 12th, I'm thrilled to share that I am 100% pain-free and can feel my body and am walking. Today is known as my graduation day that I've earned. But the reality is that this day belongs to so many. First and foremost, this day belongs to God. Many years ago, 8 to be exact, on the night I first experienced nonstop seizures, God spoke to me. I haven't told many people about this moment because people would think I was crazy, and here it goes. On that scary night, when no one can control or explain my seizures, God told me I would experience years and years of pain, but I would be fine. I saw heaven filled with beautiful fields and trees by open blue waters. This encounter lasted on and off for hours. I kept waking up and describing to my mom how I saw God and how he reassured me that this wasn't my time yet, but I would have an amazing life. On my darkest days and nights, I would reflect on the promise he made me and find my strength. On days where I wish my life was over, my mom would remind me that God has promised me healing. I have learned God has designed me for this journey. He filled me with grit, strength, determination, a weird sense of humor, compassion, a competitive spirit, and slightly feisty. However, when God designed me, he knew that I would need a partner in my healing. So he made someone who's a little more than me. A little more grit, a little more determination, a lot feistier, a matching sense of humor, and probably about the same amount of competitiveness. Then, God knew in order for her to understand my fight, she must battle her own near-death experience. She had to battle her own comeback. God knew exactly what he was doing when he designed my NMR therapist, Aniston. He knew I needed her to get me to his promise. So Aniston, today is really our graduation, and we have earned this day. But more about Aniston later. To my fellow patients, many of you in this room do not know my story. I have been here at Spero for 16 months, and during my time, I have witnessed so many miracles. I have watched many people that I love ring the bell, sometimes wondering if I would ever get my turn. Well, now here I am ringing the bell. I hope as you hear my story, it might give you that extra push of inspiration and that mindset to stick with the program and trust the process. The condition that brought me to the clinic started in 2022. But before 22, I experienced years of extremely rare and extremely painful medical issues. When I was 11, my first medical issue started. I had a parallel fistula, a hole in my inner ear, a hole that can only be seen in surgery. My hearing became superpowered. I could hear buses, brakes from miles away, and high-frequency noises no one else could hear. Hearing those noises caused intense pain, and my reactions were passing out in seizures. Of course, every doctor that couldn't figure this out told me it was anxiety. At this point in my life, I had zero anxiety. This condition is so rare that many ENTs don't believe it is actually real. After months of searching for answers, we found my ear neurologist, Dr. Ricardo Cristobal. From that moment I met him, he believed me. He did a test and scheduled surgery almost right away. Dr. Cristobal was shocked when he saw my entire membrane was flapping open. He told my mom he had never seen anything like it and that I was indeed being tortured by every sound. I recovered from surgery and returned to playing competitive softball. 6 months later, I developed a spontaneous spinal fluid leak. My parents, again, had to fight for help, and again, we heard the word anxiety. Blood patches made me instantly better, but only for relief for 6 days. I spent 3 months lying flat in bed, only getting up for less than a minute, and I did everything in bed, and I mean everything. After one last fight with the hospital, they granted me a final blood patch. 36 hours later, after my third blood patch, my parents bought a car, put a mattress in the back, and drove me to California to see the #1 leak doctor in the world, Dr. Shemake. He looked at my MRI that was read normal in Dallas and said my brain was sagging. After 2 months and 2 more patches, I was healed, and I was returning home. Over the next few months, I suffered from POTS-like symptoms on some days and Chiari malformations on others. My parents flew to New York to the top neurosurgeon, Dr. Jeffrey Greenfield at Cornell. There, I was diagnosed with high intracranial pressure. I now had too much fluid in my head. Dr. Greenfield was amazing, believed me right away, and treated me accordingly. For the first time in over a year, I could think clearly and remember things like my iPad password or simple math. It was life-changing. Then COVID hit, but I stayed really well. Once life started again, I was able to return to competitive softball and high school ball. It was the dream come true. After a few months back in softball, my right arm started hurting, swelling, and changing colors. Long story short, I was diagnosed with bilateral thoracic outlet syndrome with blood clots in the subclavian veins. Over the next 6 months, I had 2 surgeries to remove my first rib from both of my sides. Dr. Gregory Pearl is one of the top TOS surgeons in the country, but I am so thankful he was close to home in Dallas. After recovering from rib surgeries, I was truly ready to start life again. I'd missed most of middle school, my freshman and sophomore year of high school. I started a new private school filled with hope. I was desperate to be a normal teenager. I wanted to make friends, attend events, and prepare for college. Sadly, that's never how things go. And this is where my condition that brought me to Spero started. In October of 2022, I developed a cyst on my right ovary. Due to the pain and the complications, the cyst had to be surgically removed. I recovered, returned to school, and 3 weeks later after surgery, on Sunday, November 6th, I tried to get out of the car, and I didn't feel great, so my mom jokingly squeezed my leg and said, "Let's go." I said, "Mom, I cannot feel that." And like any great mother, she pinched me in different spots, and I still felt nothing. Thinking it was maybe a pinched nerve, we gave it a few days and saw our local chiropractor. After 48 hours, my parents took me to the hospital and admitted me for testing. I will never forget the neurosurgeon and the neurologist looking at my parents and saying, "Everything looks normal. Take her home. Things like this happen. It will get better." My parents were in disbelief. We spent the next few months bouncing from doctor to doctor with no answers. I entered PT with no improvement. Then in May of 2023, I developed another cyst on my left side this time. It ruptured and my left leg went out. 5 months after hearing things will get better, I had no feeling or use of either of my legs. My parents kept fighting for answers and put me in private PT for 6 hours a week, but I still never improved. At this point, I had a custom wheelchair, chairlift, and we had remodeled my whole bathroom. In December of 23, my mom felt God stirring things up. In early January, she told my dad, "We have to up our game." My mom reached out to a childhood friend, Bruce Mosley. Bruce had mentioned Spero to my mom when I first lost the use of my right leg, but thinking I would get better, we didn't act on it. And now it was time. During a phone call with Bruce and his wife, they told my parents how Spero helped their daughter and that Spero could help me. My mom made the call, and by the end of the day, I had a start date of February 5th, 2024. We had no clue what we were getting into, but also knew no one else offered any help. We asked very few questions and decided to trust God completely. Day 1 at Spero, I entered NMR for the first time and met my therapist, Aniston. My mom gave Aniston the whole spiel. She gave all my PTs. She basically said, "Miranda will work hard. She's a fighter. She can be feisty and has a smart mouth that might come off rude. She does not mean to." Aniston looked me dead in the eye without a smile and said, "We will be just fine." At that moment, I knew I had met my match. And Aniston was so right. We have been just fine. But actually, we've been great. And it's still not really time to talk about her yet. So work started. I decided I'm definitely going to give Aniston a run for her money. My pain and stress responses were still passing out in pretty big seizures. And I would fight with everything I had and usually end up passing out. And although I couldn't feel anything below my hips felt all pain I ever had. On February 8th, barely moved my big toe on the left foot, and we celebrated. On February 19th, I moved 2 toes. April 8th, I raised my left heel, and April 9th, extended my left foot from the knee down as we celebrated. We felt things were starting to respond, but boy, were we wrong. That was all the progress I had made for the next 5 months. I often cried, screamed, and said some very not ladylike words, passed out, and had seizures. But Aniston kept pushing. Every moment hurt, and nothing was easy. To move a toe, it mentally took a toll on me. To move my leg, I could not talk, and I literally had to repeat to myself, "Leg, move, leg, move." It was exhausting on all levels. As I would get frustrated, my parents reminded me that going home was not an option, and as a family, they were all committed to me walking again. Finally, on day 147, on September 3rd, there was a shift. I had EWAT, which I hate, And that day, Aniston held my right shoe in front of me and said, "Put it on." And I did. I extended my right leg from the knee down, and it was the first time since November 6, 2022. We were all shocked. I tried again and again, and each time I did it. The day that everywhere I went, a fellow patient would say, "Show me." And then everyone would celebrate like we were lottery winners, which we need. Why? Because this is Spero. People notice things like the day you wear a different sock, move a toe, and smile for the first time. Spero notices. The next day, with Aniston, Chelsea, Annie, Bailey, 2 ARPs, 2 Resis, and crutches, I stood for the first time in 2 years. I was crying and screaming in pain, but I did it. The next day, the same crew and equipment, I took my first step. It was more of a slide, but I was moving forward. I actually think my first step might have been backwards. Aniston took me in the main room, and with all my fellow patients, we walked around and they watched in awe, and I took 25 steps. I was crying. It was hard, overwhelming, but I did it. I sat down, and everyone cheered and clapped, and we cried. The pain was intense. I was emotional and overwhelmed. It was happening. The promise God had made me was coming true. Over the next month, I continued to make progress. I ditched the crutches and my wheelchair for crutches, and I still looked very new to walking, not even knowing what to do with my arms. I had forgot. I tossed one crutch for a few weeks, and Aniston would walk beside me holding my hand as I leaned on one crutch. Then, October 21st, my mom's birthday, I dropped my crutches and walked across the room to my Aniston. That day, I walked and walked. Aniston took me everywhere to see everyone. We walked in the parking lot, up a ramp, upstairs, across the walk, and across those dreadful cracks in the parking lot. It was like a proud mom showing off her baby. After 8.5 months at Spero, I was finally walking, but still couldn't feel my legs. Our prayers shifted to the feeling returning. Aniston did not let up. She has never let up, and I never wanted her to. We worked hard together, fighting for progress while we waited for the feeling to return. Then, December 9th, at the end of NMR, I had Bryce, who had me, and followed me to the ground as I passed out, to keep me safe. My mom happened to be recording and dropped her phone. When I woke up, I was screaming uncontrollably. My mom said I sounded like a burn victim, and it felt that way too. My left leg was back, all the feeling rushed in without a second's notice. They tell me I screamed for 45 minutes. A team of therapists surrounded me. Me, Bryce, Dr. Lauren, my mom, Sean, Case, and Casey all helped me calm down and get me to my car. Then, the next day, my right leg turned on, and the same thing. It came at the end of NMR. Apparently, this time, it was so much worse. The length was about the same time, but for the next 2 weeks, my pain was a 9 out of 10 for 24 hours a day. I was back in my wheelchair for a week, and honestly, I barely remember this time. Yes, I wanted this, but I never imagined how horrible it would have been. I asked my mom if I could listen to that dreadful video of my left leg turning on. My mom tried to talk me out of it, but I was not listening. It was heart-wrenching to hear myself scream like that, but it was heartwarming to listen to Bryce, Dr. Lauren, Casey, and my mom try to calm me down. They truly had me and stayed calm during the storm. The clinic thought my pain would instantly go away, but it wasn't, and I never follow a schedule. Now I had to sit on a blanket all the time, schedule showers on days when I could bear it, and only wear shorts from Altered State and avoid anyone or anything to touch my legs. I was thinking graduation would be coming soon, but it did not. My mom kept pushing and reminding me God made that promise. It is coming. Aniston kept chipping away at me with no mercy, but again, I did not want mercy. On January 16th, I learned to jump, and on the 21st, I beat Aniston and Sean in a foot race. By mid-January, my left leg had hit 0, but my right leg, stubborn as always, held on to the pain until the beginning of May. During this time at Spero, my shoulder flared. My lower body was the reason I came to Spero in the first place, and it was healing and holding zeros. I was so frustrated with my shoulder sitting at 9s. Throughout my time at Spero, when we were there, with the setbacks, my mom would say, "This is not a surprise. This may be a surprise to you, but it's not a surprise to God." So we kept fighting. Now, I stand here before you today, thrilled to say I am walking, can feel my body, and am 100% head to toe pain-free. Today is about giving hope to others. I can only hope my story will save someone else. To my fellow patients who do not let my timeline scare you, you all have your own healing journey, and I have seen so many miracles in my 16 months here. Hold on, keep fighting, don't stop, don't let up, trust the process, believe in your therapist, believe in yourself, and I strongly believe you should trust God. Now, to my thank yous. Thank you to the Fayetteville community. I have met strangers who have joined my fight, from Jasmine and Violet at Penguin Ed's to Madison at the Mac counter at Dillard's, to the stranger we met at Smitty's who later asked if she could pray over us. She knew things about me that only God could have told her. To Tom Shields and the Natural Spaceball team, thank you for following my journey and allowing me to throw out not one but 2 first pitches while I was living here. To David Powell in the First Baptist Youth Group, you will never know how much my time with you all healed a piece of me I always longed for. And last but definitely not least, to Chick-fil-A. For years, I could barely eat, and the only thing I ever wanted was an 8-count meal with large, well-done fries and a Diet Coke. Back home, when I couldn't do anything, they hosted a fancy Chick-fil-A dinner with table service for my 16th birthday. And while I would still have eaten Chick-fil-A nearly every day and sometimes breakfast, God's chicken definitely fed my soul. To the clinic as a whole, thank you for investing in me and getting to know me. Thank you for listening to my nonstop rants about Miracle-y, wheelchair camp, and seat camp for 16 months. Not only did you listen, but you asked questions. On Monday, you would all ask me how Miracle-y went or ask specific details about my weekend plans. Thank you for believing in me and celebrating my wins along the way. Each of you truly invest in everyone here, and it truly makes a big difference. I know on graduation days, y'all often don't get to eat lunch. So to honor you and thank you, we've asked my friends at Chick-fil-A to help us out. So today, Chick-fil-A is donating lunch for the staff. And to all my patients here, Chick-fil-A is also giving you a card for a free sandwich. So thank you, Chick-fil-A. To the captains that drive this ship, Tristan, Quincy, and Paige, I have loved all of our jokes and laughter. You have made the good days great and the rough days a little brighter. The three of you have such quick wit and personalities that draw people to you. You definitely understand service with a smile. My mom and I promise to come call and harass you at least once a week. Fair winds and Godspeed. Jen, Paxton, and Savannah, you ladies run laps around this place, literally. Each of you have an attitude of joy and fun. You make being called back to your doctor enjoyable. You've been many small conversations that have been all meaningful. Thank you for investing in me and celebrating me along the way. Tyler, I definitely gave you a run for your money. Literally made you run. Your knowledge about your job is so impressive, and you are so kind and reassuring. You explain everything and proceed with caution. You set everyone at ease, and that's such a great quality. Ellie, you have helped me in ways I can't express. You have validated my thoughts and my feelings. You have helped me pick things apart and put them back together. You have listened to me and then helped me process it all. We have shared many laughs, some tears, and made a lot of memories. You have such a sweet spirit, and I am grateful you have always been a part of my journey. Sierra, I truly don't know how to thank you. You have desensed me to things in a slow and gentle way. You have been around for so many of my big days along the way. You have encouraged me and taught me how to trust you, and you have praised me and reminded me of my growth. You are always smiling, happy, and I will miss our time together greatly. To those I haven't worked with in a while, Shane, the coolest guy I know. You are the greatest listener and truly invest in your patients. You also provide a ton of comic relief. I still laugh about the day where you said, "Oh, Colleen has no problem making an example out of me." Thank you. Colleen, your humor, bright colors, and knowledge on healing has truly made this journey unique. You are calm and confident in all you do. Our days of scans were always unique. Please reach out if you need help finding those red triangles. Thank you for being exactly who you designed God designed you to be. Heather, you are a jack of all trades. You have shown up in all of places, and I think you've done almost every therapy on me. Every time we've been together, we seem to laugh, even during the early days of Piezo. You always ask about my life details, and that means a ton to me. I will always remember our time with Finn, and you need to remember, he's not short. Katie, oh Katie, you are one of a kind for sure, and I love your humor and your spirit. You are always up to date on my case and how to plan. I've learned to trust nothing you say because everything you have has a trick up your sleeve. Thanks for all the laughs. Mirabelle, Joy, and Brooke, we haven't been together in a while, but I remember our time in the very beginning. Thank you all for continuing to check on me and cheer me on. Sean, oh, I hated Ewat. But I do feel it helped me get to today. You always had a plan for me and encouraged me through the whole thing. You often stop by NMR with a, "Hey, Raka, you have come a long way. Keep fighting." Thank you. Katie, thank you for always coming to harass me during piezos, especially when you bring snacks and everything. Thank you for introducing me to donkey basketball, and thank you for getting me my pain in my back lower. Such a game changer. Chelsea, in the beginning, it was the three of us when Aniston was training you. We were like the three amigos, or maybe the Golden Girls. We had some great laughs together along the way. I honestly feel like we might have laughed more than I cried. Thank you for being a part of my story. Annie, the eye on the other side of the room. Apparently there isn't a mind your own business policy in NMR. At any time, another therapist can chime in with a correction, and Annie, I truly am grateful for your extra set of eyes helping me. I have loved your encouragement along the way. Jenna, sweet, sweet Jenna. The biggest fighter at this clinic, always smiling even when you truly didn't feel like it, and shining the light of Jesus everywhere you go, and sharing joy in your sense of humor. I pray for you every day and keep fighting. Dr. T, thank you for all the random topic conversations, always celebrating me in the ways that mattered and making me laugh. Dr. B, thank you for healing me through scraping. We didn't have a lot of time together, but I always tried to make the most out of it. Dr. Lauren, I have always considered myself blessed to call you my doctor. You have been in my corner since day one, and you have never wavered in your belief that I would be better. You have remained the calm in all my storms. A lot of our conversations were always about what to expect next, but it always ended with, but you are Miranda, so who knows what's next. I truly loved getting to know you and your heart. I watched your family grow and looked forward to hearing about every weekend soccer. You have always listened and had always been willing to let me try and retry therapies until we got a breakthrough. I feel like you and my mom made a solid team, and I know we will both miss you. Bryce, you invested in me on day 2, and you told me like hell you were leaving in that chair. And you were right. I am walking out of here, and you have been by my side through some of my hardest moments. You excel at what you do, and I have loved our jokes and sarcastic comments. But what really meant the most to me were the days when you saw that struggle or my frustration or my fight, and you would give me a hug, call me kiddo, encourage me, put on my sunglasses, and sit beside me. I also want to thank you for training Aniston to be the amazing therapist she is. Aniston. Oh, it's still not your turn. To my friends, to those who entered my life when I lost the ability to walk, thank you for loving me on my hardest day and throughout my healing. You showed me that I was worth all the love at the time I didn't feel very lovable. Thank you. To Becca Zook, thank you. Nearly every week since February 24, Becca has mailed me a card or a postcard. Sometimes they were funny, inspirational, or a signed card with a written message, and sometimes postcards from different locations. It always made me feel remembered. To anyone with a friend or loved one going through this journey, please learn from Becca. Please don't tell us, I thought about texting you or calling you, but I also didn't want to bother you. Trust me, bother us. Pick up the phone and send that text message or make the call. Send a card. There's no gift that is needed. A signed card can make our day so much better. This journey is lonely, and we have all lost friends, schools, jobs, and interactions. By all means, bother us. Sarah Douye, thank you for being a friend to both me and my mother. Over 20 years of friendship, where time and distance didn't change a thing, you will never know what it meant for us when you went to visit not once, not twice, but 3 times. Having another face to look at, another person to talk to, shop with, and play games truly brightened our journey. Thank you. Danielle, thank you for loving me through it all. You have been such a great friend to me. Your random texts have always arrived at the right time. Thank you for supporting my sisters while my mom and I was away, dropping off food, offering rides, and spoiling my sisters. You always stop by Miracle League for a hug, a check-in, and flowers on a rough day. I love you. To the Hawks and the Leeches. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. One of the best parts of this journey was going closer to you and your families. You have all prayed for me and loved me and celebrated me. You have made me feel so important. Both Billy and Molly have brought so much joy to my life. Nothing's normal about this graduation. To my Miracle League family, I often say Miracle League healed that softball-shaped hole in my heart. When I lost the ability to walk, you all treated me as if I was the same. You put me on the board and made me feel special at a time I needed and when I felt like I didn't have much to offer life. Miracle League has changed my life. Thank you so much, Coach Fish. Pappy, thank you for loving me and checking on me. You have shown my family so much support during this time. From teaching Amelia to drive or attending girls' events, you helped fill that void in their lives. Every time you take me to lunch or call to check on me, the rest of my day is significantly brighter. You have always been a true friend when I didn't have many. Kylene Seeley, thank you. You know what for, I know what for, and God knows what for. You do one thing and you do things in life for one reason, to honor God. Thank you for loving my mom and lifting her up. To my Spero family, Jan, Scott, Stacy, Jake, Carolyn, Liz, Glenn, Marty, Jordan, Tina, Nora, Ryan, Kristen, Eden, and so many more. There was a time, maybe more than once, where I felt like I was unraveling, when the pain felt louder than my hope, and I couldn't see the way I needed to move forward. In those moments, I didn't need someone to fix me. I needed someone to believe that I could heal. And y'all did exactly that. Whether it was through a kind word, a quiet prayer, or a check-in message, you reminded me that healing isn't about being perfect. It's about being seen, supported, and loved as we navigate the hard parts. Mina, we think alike, laugh at the same dumb jokes, and often say the same thing at the exact same time. It's almost eerie how in sync we are. Like the universe made 2 copies of the same person and put them on the same shared journey. I know your healing is coming, and I can't wait. Cassie, my hometown Flower Mound girl. I am so excited you are here and are already healing. I have no doubt that you too will be ringing this bell. Enjoy my Arkansas home. It is the best house here. Tristan, Tim, Christopher, and Finn. You boys have made me feel like a kid again, like reconnecting with a part of myself I had thought I had lost. A version of me that used to be happy and healthy. You probably don't even know the gift you gave me. You were all like little brothers to me. Watching each of you heal, find your voice, and your joy brightened my journey. Finn, you entertained me with your superpowers and your sweet voice that always melted my heart, especially when you called me your Miranda. Christina, Ashley, and Lindsay, the 3 of you are all moms who have moved heaven and earth for your boys. I admire your strength and determination. My mom has been blessed to fight alongside you, but I am blessed to call each of you my friends. You were a soft place to fall, a listening ear, and someone who laughed with me until I cried. I will always carry fond memories of our time together. Kendall and Chloe, some of the sweetest, most loving souls I know. I am so grateful we have traveled this road together. Chloe, you are like the Spero little sister, making earrings and other sweet things for your patients. You've truly been a blessing. Kendall, drop it like a... Well, you know what? Never mind. Hayes, Abigail, and Shay. The friendship we've made has never be recreated. To be heard, understood, encouraged, and never judged is so healing. We have all suffered and we have all healed together. I'm so grateful for our game nights, inside joke, relentless picking on each other, escape rooms, or being healed enough to do things without our moms. But at the same time, the feeling of being safe, because we all knew we had each other's best interests at heart. I love you all. Let's all meet in Australia one day so we can drive through all those whirly-woos. Brett. Oh, Brett, you have been my Ireland sister, and I loved all of our talks about boys and possibly a Texas oil rancher. But in all seriousness, you have been one of my biggest cheerleaders on good days and a soft place to fall on my bad. Your reaction to me moving my toe was like no other, and for the first time, when you saw me walking, you literally climbed onto the sofa in total disbelief. You have always been so proud of me, and your time is coming. Jim, my Spero grandfather. Jim, as you know, family isn't just who you're born to. It's also the people who step in when we need you most. You filled the space in my life with incredible grace. You didn't have to take on that role, but you did, and for that, I'm endlessly grateful. For our daily hangouts filled with laughter, tears, raps, and as many Tuesday night Smitty dinners as we can, we have built a relationship for a lifetime. Today, I feel you here with me. Thank you for everything, J No Money. Connor, Spero's favorite Aussie, no offense, and the big brother I never had. From our days in MAG, Sarah set endless car rides back and forth to the clinic. One thing has always ran true. We were going to have a blast. We were able to share stories and comments that only patients understand. You always made me laugh and smile and feel loved. I loved our phone calls and hearing you say dead set or sweet as and looking good, Miranda. I wish you were here today, but I can't wait to see you. To my family, Mimi and Pop-Pop. You have always been there for me in the most loving and thoughtful ways. When I'm sick or feeling down, they step in with care and comfort, no matter what. They make sure that I'm included, especially during family reunions or special moments. I love you both. Gam. Through your quiet strength and unwavering support, you gave me something I didn't know I needed. The place to heal. You have supported my therapy and stopped at nothing and always said yes. It has given me my life back. Because of you, I'm able to stand here today and able to unpack pain, rediscover joy, and learn how to live instead of just survive. Gam, you have given me not just healing, but hope, and I'll never be grateful for that. I'm grateful. Riley. God. You're the best friend I could have ever had. I could have never asked for anyone more. You have loved me well through my hardest days. You have held me during seizures and kindly documented my greatest passing out moments, like passing out in the freezer. You always take me as I am. In the bed with an IV, you were there. When I couldn't sit up, you were there. Wiping my mouth and talking me through seizures, you were there. Cracking inappropriate jokes there. You were my only friend that has stuck through my side through it all. If my stomach upset, you went and sat outside the door with my dog, Roxy. Heartbreak, you were there. Emotional meltdowns, there. The greatest laughter, you were there. It could have been so easy for you to slip away or pull off, like many have, but you never did. You have always come to my side and made time for me. Everyone deserves a Riley in their life, and I'm just blessed to have found mine at the age of 10. As you left for college, my mom said to you, Riley Rocca, you are one of the greatest things that has ever happened to our family, and I could not agree more. Thank you. Amelia, I could spend hours talking about everything you do for me. You held me during seizures, sung to me when I needed comfort. You were my voice when I could not speak, and my strength when I was none. I'll never forget the day that I got my new wheelchair, and you warned me that I should have been careful. I was overly confident that my wheelie bars would hold me and support me, but I was wrong. Who knew that wheelie bars can flip, slip upside down, and slide into each other? You could barely help me off the floor because we were laughing so hard. Memories like these prove, even in the hard times, we found joy. I also want to thank you. Early on, you told my mom, we don't need you at home. Yes, we want you, but we are fine. We are doing good. Get Miranda healed. Thank you for releasing me from all that guilt. I love you, Moo. Lila, when everything feels heavy, you show up with the most unexpected and perfect ways. Lila does not try to fix things. She just knows how to make me laugh. And even when I don't feel like smiling, her ridiculous jokes, the way she laughs at her own punchline, the late night chats, and everything about nothing, especially boys, it pulls me out of my head, even if it's just for a little bit. She walks in with this incredible sense of humor, acting like my personal nurse and diagnosing me with chronic laziness. My stand-up comedian rolled into one. She doesn't cure that sickness, but she makes it easier to bear. What still gets me is when Lila was 4 when I first got sick. She truly does not know me at my best health. She is now 12. But still, she shows up and cares to me like I've never been anything less than whole. Lila, I look forward to the day to have a healthy life with you. Dad, you've always been an amazing dad, and I know it must have been hard with all of us here. It was hard for you to be that mom, too. You have learned that girls don't just want steak for dinner. We would like some sides, please. But in all seriousness, thank you for being the strength behind our family. The quiet anchor who never asked for praise, yet always shows up when it mattered most. When we've been away, you've taken care of my sisters with love, patience, and kind of steady presence that only a true father can offer. You've kept the house running, the family grounded, and the love flowing. You've done it all without ever telling us to come home. You spent countless hours researching doctors, treatments, and therapies, often staying up till 3 in the morning. That kind of dedication is rare, and it does not go unnoticed. We may not say it enough, but we are so grateful for you and always putting family first. We love you. To my mom, my rock. Through every day and relentless night, when the pain stood by me constant and hope felt silent, you were there. Unwavering, unshaken. You were never once gave up on me. Even then, when the world felt like it was falling apart, while others may have offered a kind word and moved on, you stayed. You fought not just beside me, but for me. When I couldn't find the strength to fight for myself, you have definitely been the calm in the storm, reminding me that in our darkest times, God seems to provide the most light. You were always there through the doctor's visits, the sleepless nights, and the moments when I broke down and wanted to give up. You held me when I was scared, listened to me when I needed to cry, and when I had nothing left to say, your presence alone was enough to remind me I was not alone. There were times when I questioned if I would ever get better, but you always knew God would lead me to healing. You believed in my healing when I had lost all faith in it. You were fearless, tireless, and full of love and humor. You were my advocate, my nurse, my counselor, and above all, my mother. Because of you, I never gave up. Because of you, I held on. Your strength, sacrifice, faith in God's plan, and unconditional love carried me through the hardest chapters of my life. Thank you for standing by me, not just in the easy moments, but especially in the ones that required more than I had to give. I owe you my life. Now it is finally time. Aniston, you get to join me up here. Aniston, you have been my rock, my kick in the butt, my hero, my big sister, and my healer. The one who cried at night for me. The one who believed when others started to doubt. You've seen me on my worst days, my worst weeks, my worst moments, and you pushed me through it all. You never let up, and I never wanted you to. You aren't one to hand out compliments just to make someone feel better, and I love that about you. I've earned every compliment. Aniston, today is just as much about me as it is about you. Without you, I would not be here, and I know that at times it was about me. I wouldn't, but I know that this journey has been lonely for us. We were proving to the world that we were going to get this day. I know I have challenged you, but you've also rose to the occasion. I know you have been just as frustrated as I have, and you've never showed me that. I know I have cried and also begged God for. I know you have cried and begged God for my healing as well. I am beyond honored to know you in so many levels. Many people fear you and say you are the hardest therapist, or they are really scared of you. But your patients know the truth. I'm blessed to know the real you. You care beyond words. You are solid in a confident way and fight for your patients. You think outside the box and put the pieces back together. You once told my mom that me walking would truly be the greatest accomplishment of your life, but that simply is not true. I might be your first huge accomplishment, but there are so many more to come. I wish there was something I could give you to show my gratitude, and I feel like my mom and I have definitely tried to spoil you. So, as I stand here today, I want you to know, if I am blessed enough to have a daughter in my life, I will absolutely name it after the woman who saved me and gave me my life back. Thank you. We swore we weren't going to cry. Ooh.
Say something. Ooh, yeah, give me a second.
Do a timeout. You want a timeout?
No, I mean, I'm
But I hope you know I really look forward to the day when I can tell my daughter to go to timeout. I really.
I just want to say, ooh, super proud of this girl. Ooh. Definitely had a lot of rough days for sure. And I told you the first day that I'm not going to give up on you. And I knew that. My family knew that. That's why they're here today. I think I told you this the other day, but Miranda went to some clinics before that had some different apparatuses that kind of were able to show her hope that she would be able to walk again. But they didn't work, and I told her that we definitely had to take the scenic route and start from the very, very bottom and work our way up. And there's so many times that she could have quit. And we tell all of our patients, trust the process, and she followed that, perfectly. Once we would get one thing, then something else would go wrong, and that just kept happening. But each time I was like, dang it, this is not how this is going to be. We're going to get all of this. And she trusted me, and I trusted her. And we bickered like sisters. She was yelling, and I was yelling, and then, but honestly, that just, got us closer and made our bond so much stronger. And I can't wait to see how the rest of your life unfolds. And this is definitely not the last time that we will see each other. Yeah. So I love you, and so proud of you.
I want to say one last thing. Because this is not just my journey, but it has been so many others, and especially Aniston, I refuse to ring the bell by myself because I wanted to do it with the person who saved my life. So.